Life of zookeepers is much more dramatic than we ever anticipate. Apart from dealing with animal wastes and stupid visitors, they have one more critical job. This! Yes, helping poor, miserable animals bringing their offspring into this world, and then watching in awe the heartwarming unions, from critical to incredible. Let's see the shocking times zookeepers went through due to animals being in labor. Zebra birth at zoo. This is Nadine from Chester Zoo, and she's ready to meet her baby after carrying it for 13 months. But all births are not the same. The yet-to-be-born foal is either too big or is facing the wrong direction, so Nadine's delivery isn't going as smoothly as she hoped. She clearly started struggling, and there was nothing the zookeepers could do. This was a stressful situation, because if the foal stays for too long, it could suffocate. Luckily, after half an hour of tiring labor, the baby came into the world perfectly healthy. But Nadine was understandably tired and could barely stand up. The zookeepers were afraid they would lose Nadine, and after taking some rest, she finally stands up and goes to love her newborn baby. Gorilla birth. The Netherlands Zoo is about to have an adorable surprise. This female gorilla is expecting, and the delivery time is closing in. Just as the birthing process starts, the mother pulls out one adorable baby all by herself. Look how she cradles it with so much love, just like humans. And that is not all. She actually gave birth to twins, which is really rare in the species. In many cases, the mothers abandon one kid, but this mama decided to love and care for both of her babies. The mama gorilla takes them everywhere she goes and does not let them down her chest. Amazingly, a Dutch zoo also witnessed something like this when a female gorilla gave birth to twins. It was a special celebratory moment for everyone. Even the zookeepers had tears in their eyes at such an emotional sight. The mother was seen carrying her babies around in an affectionate manner, which shows how much she was proud of them and loved them. Sheila's baby. A miraculous event is on its way in the zoo, and it will take place at the gorilla enclosure. Sheila is a pregnant gorilla and is about to meet her baby after 8 long months. But the zookeepers are nervous for her, as her last pregnancy ended tragically for unknown reasons. The moment of birth finally comes, and Sheila pulls her baby out by herself. This time, her baby is perfectly healthy and ready to face the world. Almost instantly, an affectionate bond is created between the two, and her motherly instincts make her ready to care for a newborn. Giraffe birth. Giraffe births are one of the most amazing and hardcore ones in the animal kingdom, and Katie is going through it. She went into labor earlier than expected. The calf's legs and head emerged first during the birth, and the baby was ready to meet its mother. After continuously pushing it, it's finally here. The mother instantly goes up to her baby to check up. Here's Kasha, who is also ready to meet her baby. And just like her, all the bystanders also await its arrival. Giraffes have to give birth standing up, otherwise the baby could be hurt upon birth. Just as the delivery moved forward, the excitement heightened too. And the calf finally makes it in the world, ready to be nurtured and loved by its mom. Elephant baby. This ultrasound shows that the expecting elephant is ready to give birth, and the zookeepers eagerly await its arrival. And this day, the wait is finally over, and the elephant goes into labor. All her fellows also gathered around for moral support, and the baby is finally here. All the elephants came in for the first look, as if congratulating the new mom and welcoming her baby to the world. After a brief moment, the calf is taken by the zookeepers for a health inspection and to celebrate the new member of the zoo. Amazing wildebeest birth. Columbus Zoo is ready to welcome the new member to this wildebeest family. She's been getting ready to meet her baby for the last 8 months, and the time is finally here. Although she faced some problems in getting the baby out, she was still looking forward to greeting it. After a long and tiring labor, all her efforts proved fruitful. The baby was born perfectly healthy, and although the wildebeest around her are excited to see it, this is a personal time for the mother and child. One-horned rhino. This birth of a majestic one-horned rhino made zookeepers hopeful for the future. The adorable baby was born at the Chester Zoo, weighing 110 pounds, and was perfectly healthy. These rhinos are categorized as vulnerable species, and only 3,700 of them are found in the wild. So the birth of a new member holds great importance. The calf can be seen following its mother and exhibiting playful behaviors, as if it was celebrating an addition to the number of its species. I hope these beautiful creatures stay safe. Twin elephants. You must have heard a lot about twin birds in humans, but how many do you know in elephants? In 2021, it was a celebratory moment in a zoo in Sri Lanka when their elephant gave birth to twins. Such kinds of births are really rare, with only 1% chance. In most cases, only one baby survives, but miraculously, both of these babies were healthy. These were not the only twin elephants. In October 2022, the Rosamond Guilford Zoo also celebrated double happiness when its elephants had twin sons. There had never been a recorded case of elephant twins surviving in the United States, making the birth a historic moment for the facility. Surprise birth. The eastern bongos are very secretive animals, and because of this nature, one female gave the zookeepers an adorable surprise. Safi was brought to Chester Zoo as the perfect mate for male Moti, but she wasn't interested, and not for the reason you'd think. She was already carrying a child, and nobody found out until Safi went into labor. The birth started at the daytime, but due to her old age and first pregnancy, there were some complications. The baby's legs were out, but the head was still in, which means it was late. After 1 hour of intense labor, the calf finally got out, and her maternal instincts kicked in, instantly forming a bond with the baby. Tragic dolphin birth. This dolphin is about to give birth any minute now. After a long labor, the baby finally comes out, and the mother's joy is clearly visible. It must breathe above the surface soon, but struggles, so the mother comes in to help and pushes the baby up. Even after a successful delivery, the newborn dolphin got pneumonia after 3 days and didn't survive from the disease. The devastated mother could be heard calling for her baby, but the people could not do anything to bring it back. Panda gives birth. If you thought panda babies are black and white like the adults, you are about to be proven wrong. Bao gave birth to female twins in a zoo near Seoul, South Korea. The panda babies were born pink and hairless, which is normal for pandas. And when born, the babies are only the size of a stick of butter, weighing 3.5 ounces. The babies are taken care of by the zookeepers to give them a better chance at life, and Bao patiently waits to meet her healthy kids again in a short time. Live rhino birth. White rhinos are near-threatened species, so their birth ignites a sense of hope for the conservation of the species. This white rhino birth was recorded at San Diego Global Zoo, and it was even more special because it was the first following hormone-induced ovulation and artificial insemination. The mother, Victoria, seemed proud of her male calf and could be seen falling in love with it at the first sight. The duo were even later seen snuggling together, getting the perfect family time. The birth of Edward was certainly a breakthrough in technology used for artificially conserving the species and will be remembered as a historic one. First virgin birth in crocodiles. You must have heard of virgin births in insects, fish, and some reptiles. But would you believe it if I told you a crocodile joined the group too? This crocodile at a zoo in Costa Rica made every person shocked by conceiving all on her own. She had lived almost her entire life alone and proved that she didn't need a male to become a mother. It happened due to parthenogenesis, in which the egg fuses with polar bodies. The female laid many fertilized eggs, from which only one was completely formed, but had a stillbirth. Scientists tested it for a DNA analysis, which showed a 99.9% match from the mother. It is the only documented case of this nature. Assisted birth of lemur. This lemur is undergoing the magical experience of birth, and all of her family is there to support her. But that was just not enough. She needed proper assistance. The tough situation was observed by the people at the zoo, and they decided to intervene. The baby was delivered healthy when a woman pulled it out of the mother in a safe manner. They instantly formed a bond, and she started grooming her offspring. The baby weighed less than 100 grams and was carried on its mother's chest for 1 to 2 weeks, and then on her back. Sloth birth. You might know sloths as the slowest animals, but that doesn't stop them from being the best mothers. This sloth was recorded at a zoo hanging from a tree and giving birth. While she was preoccupied, she still made sure that the baby did not fall. What a very fantastic job! Just as the baby came out, she grabbed it close to her chest and started grooming it, which shows her affection towards the baby. I bet this is the fastest you have seen a sloth move. When the mother and baby had established a bond, the baby was taken by the zookeepers for a safety check. Rare manatee baby. The magical moment of a manatee birth was captured in a zoo in Arnhem, the Netherlands. The mother went into labor after a healthy gestation period and gave birth to an extremely cute calf in 2021. It started swimming with its mother almost instantly, which shows that it was healthy. West Indian manatees are vulnerable due to population decrease, and every birth adds to the odds of saving the species. This baby was a success for the Burger Zoo breeding program that is working on increasing the birth rate of manatees. Naked mole rat birth. Naked mole rats have strong communities, especially when it comes to the birthing process. But only one female can give birth in one community, and if someone else wants to experience this magical feeling, they gotta get rid of the first breeding mother. This mole rat has doubled her body mass and is actually expecting. She's going to a safe place surrounded by other females that will take care of the babies. When they are born, the babies are vulnerable as they are blind and weigh almost equal to 2 paper clips. So they're instantly taken away by the nurses, who care for them until they are strong, creating a strong community. Sumatran orangutan. Toronto Zoo had a celebratory moment when their Sumatran orangutan gave birth to an adorable baby. The mother, Sekali, started getting restless and anxious the day prior to the birth, making the zookeepers excited to welcome a new member to the family. Sekali's maternal instincts kicked in right away after she pulled the baby out of herself. She had fallen in love with her baby. She held it close to herself, cleaned it, and cradled the baby just like humans. The birth of the critically endangered Sumatran orangutan raised the spirit of everybody about the animal's future. Shark's rare asexual birth. Zebra shark virgin births are not unheard of, but are very rare. This is why when a female inhabiting the Shed Aquarium reproduced without a male, she shocked the world. This was so rare that it even made headlines. The Shed often bred animals and was successful with reproduction of over 100 animals. They at first thought that Bubbles had also done it through the typical way, but genetic study of the offsprings showed she did it through parthenogenesis. And what was more shocking was that she chose this even though she was exposed to 3 mature males. But I guess they just weren't her type. Rare honey badger birth. Honey badgers are extremely secretive, so spotting one roaming around is difficult. Even the breeding of honey badgers is managed by a handful of zoos in the world. So, observing giving birth is a once-in-a-lifetime type of experience. Safari Park de Kralove conducted this rare breeding and welcomed a baby honey badger. It was the first one for the zoo in 10 years. The mother, Bibi, gave birth in December 2020, and her birth was recorded by the zookeepers. She took exemplary care of the adorable baby and does not go away from him. Oddly different emu babies. You must have seen white or off-white eggs, but have you ever seen dark green ones? These eggs actually exist and belong to the flightless bird's emu. The female lays around 8 to 10 eggs at a time, and they are all dark green. And once the female is done, these are incubated by the males, who stay in the nest for 7 weeks, abandoning food. But the bizarre nature of this bird doesn't end here. When the eggs hatch, the babies are totally different from the parents. It might seem a bit off, but these stripes are here for a purpose. They serve as camouflage for protection from the predators and wear off after 2 years. Miracle birth. This hippo's birth at the Cincinnati Zoo is a rather unusual one. The hippo, named Bibi, was on contraceptives, yet she still brought a healthy baby to life. The zookeepers had put her on birth control because of her last baby, Fiona's, critical condition. She was born premature, and it was feared that Bibi's next baby might undergo the same problem. But she surprised everyone. When she went into labor, the new baby was perfectly healthy and could be seen roaming around the enclosure, bonding with its mother. I hope it'll grow up to be as strong and majestic as her. Ostrich birth. You must have heard that ostrich eggs are the biggest of all, but have you ever seen how these are laid? This ostrich at a zoo is ready to bring a new life in this world, and the excited zookeeper cannot contain his happiness. He's not the only one excited about it. Even the bystanders wanted to welcome the baby and see the biggest egg alive. Just as the egg comes out, he grabs it up like some trophy. Just look at the big smile on his face.
Dirty python.
Kangaroo birth. You will be shocked to know about a kangaroo's birthing process. The 3 to 8 foot large animal is born just the size of a jelly bean. This soon-to-be mama kangaroo is giving birth to its baby, which is getting ready to pass from the treacherous thick fur and make its way to the pouch. Once it's there, it's all smooth sailing ahead. It will now nurse and rapidly grow in the pouch, reaching the size of a mouse in just 4 weeks. And within months, it's ready to come out and jump all over the place. But it is still not safe on its own, so the mother's pouch acts as a nice, safe resting place for the joey. Koala baby at zoo. The zookeepers at the Sydney Zoo witnessed a heartwarming scene when a baby koala at their enclosure finally came out of its mother's pouch after 6 months. These cute animals also give birth like their distant cousins, kangaroos. The babies are first born in the embryonic stage, and they travel up in the mother's pouch. Here, they nurse and grow, and when they're ready, they come out of the protective cushion. The young baby can be seen clinging to its mother, stealing the hearts of onlookers, and was welcomed by the zookeepers with open hearts. Monkey gives birth. You're about to witness a beautiful moment of monkey birth. Just as the mother undergoes the labor, her babies come in to support her and give her comfort. Although the juveniles are a bit freaked out, the mama stays calm and makes the tough birthing process look so much easier. After going through half an hour of labor, she finally grabs her baby before it falls to the ground and gets to hold it in her arms. The strong motherly instinct kicks in right after the birth, and she's built a strong bond with it. Even the juveniles are excited to meet the new sibling. Pig babies. This is Hermione, and she is a super mom. She lives on a 1-acre barn with a loving family and is about to increase the number of members in it. Hermione started acting all fuzzy midday, which meant she was going into labor soon. The people around her wanted to help, but it clearly seems like she does not need any. But she was hasty in meeting her babies, which justifies her record speed of delivery. Her litter consisted of 7 healthy babies, including 2 orange pigs and 5 white ones. Camel birth. This camel is ready to bring new life to the world and is soon going to experience a life-changing event. She was separated from the rest of the herd, and then the birth process started. But the baby was taking a long time to come out, putting its health at risk, so the people staying near the area decided to help the poor animal. They pulled the baby out a bit, and that did the work. Just as the baby was born, a strong bond was created between it and the mother. After that, the rest of the camels also came in to greet the newborn. Sugar glider babies. Sugar gliders have a unique way of birthing their offspring. Just like kangaroos, their babies come into the world in the embryonic state, just after 15 to 17 days of gestation. The mother licks them clean and guides the babies to her pouch. The teeny tiny newborns migrate to her pouch and remain there for 70 to 75 days to grow and get nurtured, so they get all the love from their mama. But the duty is not done for her. The babies cannot fly on their own for another 4 months, so she carries them with her everywhere. Now that's a true motherly spirit. Harbor seal birth. This harbor seal moved to the shore to experience the beautiful moment of meeting her baby, but the seagull seemed more interested in the whole process. She was struggling to get the baby out and was anxiously trying to push it out. But there's a threat already lingering for the unborn baby. So she tries her luck in the water to protect it from the seagull, which is ready to make a meal out of the placenta or the baby. With some cheers from the bystanders, she finally gets to meet her offspring. The hungry seagull could just look with the wishful eyes and doesn't get anything to eat. It was definitely a magical sight for everyone. Scorpion giving birth. Who knew a lethal predator like a scorpion could be an affectionate mom too? Speaking of that, I bet you've never seen it giving birth though. Well, here it is. Scorpions give live birth, and when their babies are ready to come out into the world, she pushes them by moving her arms to aid the contractions in the body. I gotta say, these babies are far cuter than their parents. You'll be surprised to see how much these mamas love their kids. The babies are carried on her back for about 2 to 3 weeks until they're able to fend for themselves. Porcupine gives birth. Porcupines use their quills to fend off predators, and they are very effective for a strong defense. But imagine giving birth to a spiky baby full of quills. Ouch, that sounds painful. Porcupets are mostly born head first, and luckily their quills are soft inside the mother's body. These harden gradually once exposed to the air, which can take about 1 to 2 hours after the birth. Thank God nature took the mother's health into consideration. But complications can occur if the baby is facing the opposite direction, as the quills might get stuck in the birth canal. Luckily for this porcupine, it was a smooth delivery. Pangolin baby. Pangolins are covered in stone-hard scales that even tigers can't bite through. And although it's a pretty good defense mechanism, I doubt it's good for mothers giving live birth to stone-hard babies. Well, pangopup births show that nature always finds a way, as the babies are covered with very soft scales at the time of birth that harden after a few days. This pangolin had been carrying her child for 5 months, and after its birth, they instantly formed a lovely bond. Just look at this pangopup. It looks so soft and cute. Platypus secretive birth. Platypus are mammals, but unlike all mammals that give live birth, they lay eggs. This unique phenomenon makes witnessing a platypus birth really interesting. And the cherry on top is that they are highly elusive, so spotting a platypus is really tricky. So get ready to witness something super unique, a baby platypus hatching from the egg. Their eggs are almost 11 millimeters in size, laid in a burrow underwater. The babies get ready to forage on their own in 4 months, and until then, live with their mother. Kiwi laying egg. Kiwis have the hardest births of all, as they lay the largest egg in proportion to their body size. The eggs take up almost 20% of the bird's body weight just before it is laid, and take up all the room, leaving no space for food. This kiwi is laying a huge egg in her nest, and it's clear how it is bigger than her body. She had been fasting for the last 2 days, and finally will be getting a good meal after it's done. Just as the egg is out, the male kiwi's duty starts. He stays in the nest to incubate the egg, and is restricted to a limited diet for 3 months. Meanwhile, Mama Kiwi can finally eat as much as she wants. Spotted hyena birth. I must say, spotted hyenas have a pretty tough life, and it starts right from the time they're born. They have the most excruciating birth process in the animal kingdom. This unusually painful birth is because of the female's pendulous clitoris, which is really small. This is from where the babies have to be born, and it's only 1 inch in diameter. Oof, already sounds bad. The babies often get stuck in the birth canal and suffocate before even coming into the world. That is why only 40% survive. Even the spotted hyenas in zoos face a high rate of mother fatality. But when the birth is successful, the babies are loved and cared for by the mother. Hedgehog spiky birth. Here's another spiky birth. The hedgehogs are covered in 3,000 to 5,000 quills. I wonder if these spikes can be a trouble at the time of birth. Ugh, already getting shivers thinking about pushing a spiky ball out. Well, luckily, the baby hedgehogs are born with quills just beneath their skin and look more like pimples. Just look at this strong hedgehog mother. She seems fine giving birth to a cute baby just like herself. The hoglets look soft and harmless to me. Even though it looks all soft, it won't be like that in the coming hours. See? The spiky quills are already up and out in 10 days. They almost look like their mother. Still adorable though. This elephant was going through one of the toughest times of her life, but the people made it worse by intervening with sticks and all that noise. I guess they were unaware about what was happening and went into panic mode, making the mother confused too. They even tried to move her on their own, and just as the hard birth was over, they took her baby away for inspection and any medical assistance. But the poor mother obviously didn't know and was anxiously waiting to meet her baby. Us humans should really learn something about boundaries. The baby was later returned to the mother after ensuring its safety. Snake live birth. You must have heard that snakes lay eggs, and that's true. But did you know that some species give live birth? As bizarre as it sounds, it's actually true. The gaboon vipers give live birth to their young, and unlike many, they're not dependent on their mother. These vicious babies can fend for themselves right after the birth. The mother can birth up to 50 babies at a time. Imagine a human baby taking care of itself from the second it's born. Sounds so weird. Shingleback painful birth. The shingleback gives birth to 2 babies. Well, that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a very big one. You see, the babies of a shingleback combined are 1/3 the size of their mother's weight. And that might not sound like a lot, but it's almost like a human giving birth to a 7-year-old. Now that sounds pretty painful when put into perspective. Just look how big that baby is as compared to the mother. Thank God human babies aren't that big. Amy's babies. Sheep babies are just too cute, but their birth process is almost really painful for the mothers. Amy is a strong and passionate goat who is about to become a mother. She lives in a barn with some people who love her the most. Amy started showing signs of stress in the morning, which meant the baby was on its way, so the people started gathering to witness the magical moment. After retiring labor, she finally got to meet her healthy baby. Mother eating babies. These black lace weaver spider babies are ferocious predators, but right now they're weak. They are just 1 day old and are dependent on their mother. So the female spider lays specialized sacs made by deteriorating her own body. And when that food ends, it's time for the mother's ultimate sacrifice for her kids. They need continuous nutrition and a kickstart for their predatory instincts. So she purposefully starts moving the web and invites the babies for a big feast. Hundreds of these spiderlings come in, but not for a family hug. They devour their own mother whole and then move out in the world to conquer it. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.